My own modest strivings for a just world order have been intertwined in recent decades with the long struggle of the Palestinian people to attain their basic rights under international law and in accord with imperatives of justice. This struggle is carried on in the face of an Israeli campaign seeking the total dehumanizing of the Palestinian people, culminating in genocide, preceded by apartheid and accompanied by ecocide. And yet, with enduring irony, reading this book of reflections by Palestinian surviving witnesses has left me with strong impressions of the superhumanization of the population of Gaza. These personalized essays of the excruciating Palestinian ordeal became even more deeply etched in my mind and heart. Despite having visited Gaza several times and being shocked by what I saw, still, it wasn't until I read this manuscript that I had even the scantest appreciation of what the Gaza genocide as a lived experience meant. As the editors make clear, genocide assumed a diversity of concrete forms, each shadowed by various severe challenges to health, serenity, security, and even sanity. This is quite aside from reporting anguishing losses among the most intimate realities of daily existence: lost and wounded loved ones, destroyed home dwellings, devastated residential neighborhoods, and targeted heritage sites. These diverse individual experiences vividly recounted throughout this volume include deeply moving stories of heroic coping by Gaza residents under conditions of extreme deprivations of such material necessities for survival as food, water, medical supplies, and electricity. These negative aspects of Gazan life are balanced by contrarian affirmations of an unbroken will to sustain resistance in the face of grotesque daily hardships and atrocities. I have rarely encountered such a text that both appalls and inspires with equivalent intensity. These highly individualized essays share a basic message that some years ago were brought to a wider public appreciation by a respected Palestinian civil society organization that chose as its name, "We Are Not Numbers." This name was presumably chosen to remind the world that those victimized and resisting are neither the human animals defamed by Yoav Gallant, Israel's former Minister of Defense, nor the statistical measures of death and destruction compiled by public institutions that express through statistics an abstract rendering of the scale and scope of Palestinian victimization. Statistical measures relied upon to impart the scale of destructive behavior have the dehumanizing side effect of treating Palestinians as lifeless beings of homogeneous identities. Another way of giving a somewhat more informative portrayal of Palestinian suffering is to report casualties as divided among children, women, seniors, and the disabled. Although concretely conveying a demographic profile of victimization, this breakdown of casualties amounts to a more detailed version of abstraction, while continuing to remain aloof from the individuation of the experience of every single Palestinian. What Gaza Rising contributes is an existential rendering of genocide as imparted by autographical storytelling as the only acceptable way to experience the unspeakable. This way of conveying experience is, of course, more than a metaphor for Gazans. It amounts to a cohering tapestry of salient and diverse personal experiences, concrete existential stories of a series of richly textured lives of people subject to the lethal stresses of an ongoing genocide that has lasted over 2 years. As the authors gathered in this volume shared the daily realities of genocide as lived experience, memory assumes a crucial role in mitigating what has been lost by way of devastation. Anecdotes drawn from this unfolding genocide preserve the presence of lost or mutilated children or of parents, family life, friendships, joyous recollections of marriages and births, and celebrating martyrs, what Abu Kanan aptly calls beautiful moments. At the same time, the experience of genocide is not sugar-coated by sentimentality.